Hey guys, it's Marcus or Jackson, and I have been gone, I guess you could say, for quite a while. And I want to say that for now, I will be putting off making more videos for the Immortal Life series. The only reason I want to focus on something else, and that is to tell you where I actually come from. And I guess I can begin. So, before I came to Earth, or before I even came to the area that Earth was going to be created, I came from a world simply called the First World, or the Forgotten World. And kinda how its name sounds, the Forgotten World, it literally was forgotten in time. So the entire world, which by the way is 100,000 times the size of Earth's sun, so it's a very big planet. And the entire planet, there was no other, I guess you could say, life like me there. There was only like creatures. Kind of like how you have like deer and tigers and lions here. Well, there was similar creatures there. And, well, I came from that world, but I came from that world in the distant past. Now, I know that may sound confusing, but what I did, I went to a certain point that I knew would not be disturbed, and I traveled into the future. Or, I guess you could say I sped up time. And I didn't just speed up time by a few billion years. I sped up time by exactly 10.5 quintillion years. In human years, that is a lot of time. And I mean end of multiple universes time. That's how long universes live normally, is like they live trillions of years, but quintillions of years are, it's a unit of measure that doesn't really, like, humans don't use that to measure anything, because we don't have anything that has existed for that long. But anywho, so I fast forwarded through time till that time, and then I stopped, or I played, I guess you could say I resumed time. And I looked, or I came down to the planet again, and I did what I call an energy sweep. I scanned the entire planet for any life like me that was still there. And there was nothing but animal life. So I decided to live there for a few more billion years. And once I got bored of that, I decided to travel. And so I traveled. If I remember correctly, I was traveling for 1 quintillion years in one straight line, just going. I saw so many worlds, and I visited each and every single one of them. The one that I visited, and I actually wanted to stay there, but I decided it wasn't a good idea because I liked adventuring too much. It was a world called the Crystallined Planet, or the Crystallized World. And kinda how the name sounds, everything in that world, well, it was a dimension actually, but everything in that world was crystallized. The animals were made of crystals. The people that the creator created were made of crystals. And it was beautiful. And I don't really say beautiful very often, but it was amazing. Now, the creator herself, me and her became friends. I don't remember her name, but me and her became friends. And I lived there for about several billion years. And when I decided to leave, she gave me a soul of a being that she created and told me to take it with me. And so I did. And I continued traveling. Because I was bored, obviously, from traveling that much. Not from traveling that much, but from just seeing really just emptiness. But don't get me wrong, space or the void is full of stuff if you know where to look. Like, there is so many planes of existence. Well, not really now, but there are so many dimensions. There are so many realms. Back then, there was only 26.2 billion realms, a billion dimensions, and there was 16.2, I believe it was, million realms, something around that number. And I visited all of the realms and all of the dimensions. But even though there was only 26 planes of existence, I only visited 24. So there's only one more that I have to visit. But the reason I only visited that much, and not the last one, well, so each plane of existence, depending on the creator of that plane of existence, can have an infinite amount of realms, dimensions, universes, anything. But only if the creator is powerful enough. Now, yes, I will get to this, but you can do what I did. And again, I will get to this later. But yeah, so I visited, I'll just say, an almost infinite amount of places. And many of them, they were worth staying. So, or not worth staying, they were worth remembering. So I took the design idea from the creator, obviously with permission, and I left. And I finally found this Earth's sun. And I decided, after realizing that I could feel energy building, and I realized that a new planet was going to be born soon. So I decided to wait and see how this planet was going to look. So I waited and waited and waited several billion years, and finally the planet was stable enough that I could walk on its surface. And it was interesting, to say the least, comma. So, I will apologize there for saying comma. I think I've only said it once so far, but it's because I voice text a lot of people and YouTube comments and whatnot, but anywho. So, the core of Earth, and as some people have pointed out, they think it's hollow, or they think there is no core, which, means it's hollow. But truthfully, the Earth does have a core, but that core isn't what people think it is. Now, yes, I have seen the Earth's core, and yeah, I'll maybe tell you about that in another video. But after, several hundreds of millions of years, the first types of humans formed. And, like apes and whatnot. People believe that we came from Africa. No, that's not true. Even though human science says it's true, no. The first types of humans did not come from Africa. We evolved from the creatures that you call monkeys or apes. We evolved from apes, pretty much. But again, that's not also entirely true. There is a species of aliens simply called the Greys. Now, I know that name has been said before, but they had help from the reptilian species. Now, I want to say their name, but at the same time I don't, because I don't want them to come and bother me, so I'm not going to, but they know who they are. And them and the Greys decided to mingle with human DNA, or with ape DNA, and boom, you have cavemen, or however you say it. So, 6 million years ago in human science, in human history, that is when the first types of humans came about. And that is true because of the Greys and that reptilian species mingling with them. But to tell you the truth, if the Greys and the reptilians did not mingle and do that, the first types of humans would have only come about only 10,000 years ago. No, not 10,000 years ago. 100,000 years ago. So, yeah, but now this may seem a little bit more unbelievable. Yeah, I guess you could say that. More unbelievable. The reptilian species that mingled with the Greys is among the people of Earth right now. And yes, many of the people within the government are part of the reptilian species. Biden is not a reptilian, but he's not a human either. And no, he's not a Grey. He is an abomination created from both of them making something. Now, I'm not saying what that something is. I know the name of it. I know what it is. But I don't want him knowing my exact location. Now, yeah, I know. If you talk bad about the president, yada, 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 yada. But, anywho. But, yeah. So, yeah. Sorry. I've not made a video in so long. I'm almost forgetting how to speak correctly. But after, waiting that long I decided to, or for the humans to get created, I guess you could say, I decided to, because I wanted to, because, you know, I saw humans, and I saw how easily they died, how easily they were killed, and how easily they felt pain and whatnot. See, I felt emotions, but I never felt anything physical, because I didn't let myself. The powers and abilities that I had, because I was so, people nowadays call it OP, but because of that, anything that came around me died very quickly because of the amount of energy that was just radiating off of me. Now, yes, the only way I stopped that was I decided to get reborn into a human body. And I did that starting 6 million years ago, when the Greys made the first humans. Now, so you will hear a few things in this video that kind of sound to contradict each other, but that's kind of the way I talk. Now, I know that's way more confusing, but I don't want to give any more information out than I have to. Now, I know I will be making more of these videos, and I know I'll be saying the information, but certain bits of information, humans and not humans, humans aren't ready for. Also, the other species that are on this planet, the Greys, the reptilians, there are so many other species that are on this planet mingling with humans. But anywho, so I decided to get reborn as a human, and I still kept all of my powers and abilities. I could teleport, I could move things with my mind, I could see the future, I could move as fast as the speed of light if I wanted to, or even faster. I had any ability you could think of from, like, comic books. I had any ability you can think of. Also, my favorite ability, which may sound very weird, was called, I simply named it Heal. I could heal any creature or any person of any disease, illness, or injury. I could bring back the dead, but that was a rule I set for myself. I would never do that. Also, back then, I had the ability to grant true immortality, meaning you could not die no matter what physical, mental, or not mental, what physical injury happened to you. So say if you were pulled apart, one part of you would be grown back, but the other part of you would slowly start to decay. Now, I know that sounds weird because, immortality, yeah. But, yeah, anywho. But I granted one person true immortality because he wanted to see what it felt like. And 200 years later, he found me when I reincarnated again and asked me to take it away because he couldn't bear it anymore. So I did. His time caught up with him, and he turned to dust right in front of me. Well, it's almost time for this video to end. And yes, I hope people comment on this video, and if I get any views on this video, I will make a second one, but I don't know when. So please be patient. Okay. Goodbye.